Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
Just to remind everybody that language usage and content that we provide here may be disturbing, disgusting, probably will be and should be. Words like bloody custard and words that rhyme with that may be featured. Actually will be featured. In fact, perhaps will only be featured. Just warning you.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Yes, it's our anniversary special. My wife and I... No, it's not that anniversary. Oh, sorry. It's the anniversary of the show, Cyrus Says. And that's what we're going to talk about. The hits, the misses. Not too many misses. A few misses, but no misses, if you know what I'm saying. Check out who's been on our show and what a wonderful 1 year we've had. Pat on the back to all of us. Can you reach? I can't reach.
Cyrus Says we have other shows too. You should check them out.
Now, if you want to listen to some brilliant indie music from all over the country, it's really simple. You can find me on Made in India. That's madeinindia.in. My name is May, and it's spelled M-A-E-D. Now, I've had some great artists on the show, including the likes of Nikhil D'Souza, The Cognac Net, Last Remaining Light, Tejas Menon, The Other People, Alicia Pays, Lakshmi Baum, Vasudha Sharma, Ankur Tiwari, and so many more. Now, if you want to subscribe, you can go to iTunes or Stitcher or your favorite podcast app, or you can find me on my website. That's madeinindia.in. That's M-A-E-D, or on Twitter and Facebook on Made in India.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Okay, I've had enough of this whole thing, folks, of coloring the hair. At 44 now, I've decided I'm going to let the hair grow its normal color. I've taken this stand after watching Arnab Goswami. If he at 42 can remain with black hair and be proud of it, I'll be happy with whatever color hair I have and be proud of it. There's no big deal in it. So from now on, you will see on this podcast a different me. A me with blonde streaks. Because there's a limit to how much white hair a man can tolerate, man. It's called Cyrus Says.
And that's what Cyrus Says.
We're 21 today. We're 21. We're not 21. We're one. We're one today. We're one today. We're also happy. Happy birthday. Our child has grown so well. Really.
Yes,
1 year.
has.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 year of Cyrus Says, the
Cyrus
podcast.
Says.
Amit Doshi will take us down that first very day when we did, what was it, like a trial script?
We did a trial thing the first day, right? So I think the first day we had Kunal Vijayakar. Kunal was in studio.
Right.
I think he just came. He was just hanging out.
Yeah, that's him on the phone saying he wasn't in
Are
studio.
you serious?
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me just turn
That's
this off.
disgusting.
That is
It's
disgusting.
true. It's Kunal. He's always calling up at the wrong time, like he did that first day. And no, I'll tell you what happened. I do remember. I was in studio.
Right.
We
were talking about we were doing the
Yeah.
Oscars, and we're just like, we just want to kind of work stuff out, right?
Correct.
So I think you were there with...
We were looking at what happened that week to see if it was like a weekly diatribe of what's happening.
Right. And he just showed up. He just came. I think you guys had to go for writing or recording or something.
So we decided to freewheel a bit.
Yeah, and that was the...
And that's when we learned two things. That he has a voice perfect for radio and a face which really should stay on radio. And I don't know, we didn't even have a beginning or end. We didn't have like an idea of what we were doing beyond just chatting.
We didn't have music.
And after 1 year, I can
nothing.
say it's exactly the same. It's absolutely exactly the same.
It
We've
is
done nothing. We've gone nowhere. It's amazing. No, but so that was the opening. If we were the Beatles, that was our little humble beginnings in Hamburg, and now here we are at the Radio City Hall performance.
Radio
in
City
a sense.
Hall.
How you took me from South Mumbai to Khar quietly, after promising me the world.
I know, man. I'm so...
I mean, you told me, don't worry, we'll do it from your house. You do it from your bathroom. You wake up, you do it for 15 minutes. We'll superimpose the guest later. You just ask questions. And from there, now I spent 3 days trekking it here. I have to pay for that damn connect, that bridge, Worli Bandra Connect.
You're right, man.
And then our guests always go to the wrong famous.
That is the
Because
big...
famous is so
also
not
is really
famous.
annoying.
The other famous is famous.
All the famouses are famous
Except for this famous. He's like that bad cousin who didn't get a job. He lives with the rest of the family.
No, we are the stepchildren famous.
We are. But let's go back then to that first day. So it was just you and me. And I don't think Chavi was there. And there was nobody else on board.
At that point there was just the Indus Vox Media, the company anniversary was on the 8th of March, right? That's when I finished.
That's Women's Day, or was that the day after?
That is Women's Day, I think.
Yeah, the 8th is Women's
It was
Day.
Women's Day.
So you purposely put it. Don't act innocent now.
Well, no.
You wanted to not pay. This is the Gujarati side of you. I won't pay for my celebration because every other government will have International Women's Day, which was also Indus Vox Day, and we all have a good time. I think it's well thought out.
I know, man. Hey,
and if
listen.
it means that we are women, then we are women. We
Yes.
have no problem with that.
If I am a Machiavellian genius, so be it.
You are a Machiavellian genius. You are a
So be
Mrs.
it.
Machiavellian genius
So be it.
on International Women's Day. So we started from humble beginnings and we've gone to humbler beginnings, but that's not our story. Our story is more than that.
so
and
that-
look at the
but-
guest. What was the first guest we had? Do you
So
remember?
the first guests we had were Sridhar Venkatesh, Shoa Hussain, Adarsh Munjal, and Ashna Rekhi, who walked off in the middle of the show.
What?
Ashna was my manager.
Yeah, she's the manager.
So we forced her onto, because we
yeah.
had 3 real guests, and then we put her in as well. And then I don't know why I can't remember, but I think she was giggling or couldn't answer
She
the
just
questions.
she wasn't comfortable with the whole thing.
She wasn't
so, I mean,
comfortable.
Yeah, so I mean, like she just like, okay, I got a phone call and I gotta go.
Oh my god, that's so weird.
She just walked off.
Yeah,
It
but
happened.
it was-
But my story is filled with people walking off.
Were women walking out on you?
Women, policemen, I mean, all types. It's always a story of someone leaving. And I cry a lot inside, when I'm alone, but nobody knows. Nobody knows. Can you make a crying sound effect, Kiran, so that it looks authentic?
We can do that here.
Please do that, because nothing else is on this damn show. And so we had these guests, and what was our? Was there an initial? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, to wax nostalgic, but did we have an idea? I'm just trying to remember.
So what we were thinking of, so when we first started, we thought that what we'll do is we'll try and create some sort of panel. Right, we'll have 3 or 4
That's right.
people.
That was our vision.
Yeah,
it was a panel.
That was our first thought.
And who were we looking at in the States as a reference? Was
we were
this hard-hitting political show and
No. So we were actually looking at technology show, This Week in Tech.
This Week in Tech?
This Week in Tech.
But there were shows where argumentative people.
There are a
and-
lot of
yeah.
argumentative shows. I mean,
Not
like
quite
in-
Howard Stern, but
No.
somewhere there.
So the Sunday morning shows, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like in the from the U.S. context, like
which is a Saturday
Meet the
evening show for
Press.
us, by the way.
Well, no, Sunday night show, right?
No, we're ahead.
It's Sunday morning over there, Sunday night over here.
Sunday morning over there means Saturday night here.
Right.
Sunday
Here.
night here.
No, we're
Sunday
ahead.
night here.
No, we're ahead. So that would mean Sunday morning there is Sunday night.
Here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, but when it's Sunday
Dude,
morning
I watch
there,
it- I watch
it's Sunday
it-
night there, right?
I
You're
watch
right.
NFL,
You're
man. I know the times.
There you go.
11:30 a.m. is 1 a.m.
This is
our
the
time.
show we give people. We discuss the bloody time and I get it wrong.
But
So who was our first real guest?
our first real guest. Let's see. So next week we had Adarsh come back again with
Adarsh
Prashant
came.
Munjal.
Right.
Then episode
Prashant,
3,
the restaurateur.
the restaurateur,
Then
Prashant
we
Chaudhary.
had-
Then we did a cricket episode with CP Thomas and Akhil Ranade.
Correct. We got into the intricacies of IPL.
Yes.
And got very emotional about all the cheating that was going on.
Then after that, we did that AMA thing with Reddit where everybody sent us questions and we just answered that. That was kind of fun, actually. That was a fun thing to do.
We got 3 or 4 hideously mean questions. Like, why are you so ugly? Really?
Oh, Cyrus, but
Oh,
you're
and
so
that was from my
pretty.
parents. Yeah, I was appalled. I was stunned.
So I'd say our first guests were probably Mara and Naina from the Nagar. Because
the
those
2
were-
lovely old ladies who were
Yeah.
fighting for a free oval.
For the, to keep the oval this. I think
yeah.
that was probably like, the first real guest.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, they were fantastic. I mean, like really.
And that's what our vision was. Get people to talk about interesting things or interesting parts of their life.
No, but see, that's where it kind of evolved from. Like,
Yeah,
once we
yeah.
did that episode, we figured out that, this panel
They were
thing.
they were our opening batsmen,
They
you
were.
can say.
They were.
Yeah.
They were.
May wasn't part of the show then, huh?
I
May
was-
Those were
not.
good
I came
times.
in
Good
much-
times.
No, it was not.
Hey! You love me, really.
We love you, May. We love you.
Thank you.
Although we were in March, we did love you. Then let's look at now a list of a few people who really stood out. I personally like Dennis Taraporwala a lot.
Yeah,
in
the song.
Because
Oh
he
God,
brought a
he
new
was so
dimension.
fun, yeah.
He brought a guitar. He was one of those musicians who was not getting enough attention.
Right.
So it was like, let me just keep singing and playing. And so we had to, because he was begging. And he went berserk after some time. He was like, let me play my guitar! in a thick Baikala accent. Which he picked up on the way, by the way, from the route he takes. And so it was yet we had a nice discussion in between and we break into song. And I think a couple of original compositions happened.
Yeah, no, what was that? Well, I don't know how they were kind of songs that he took off from the other things that he was doing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But they were
he
still
did a
pretty
whole
fun.
political satire.
Yeah, exactly. They were
Satirical
really good.
verse for
Yeah.
us. In fact, I have a little. I'll just play a snippet for you right now. This is Dennis on the guitar. Ting. Okay, that's it. Now, What do you think? Actually played again? No way. Nobody's that good. All right.
But so Dennis was actually really good. I think Shakti Salgaonkar would probably also stand out.
I like Shakti. Shakti is the girl who does the criticism, movie critic.
She does the Marathi.
She was hilarious.
Yeah, she works with I think Kyunki, the digital video production thing. But she's a Marathi.
But if you pay her money, she says good things about your film. That's what she told us. No, but she was great fun. I do remember.
Yeah, she was good. She's been on twice. She came on first on her own, and then the second
she panned
time,
one film, which was great fun. It's always great fun. I don't remember which.
I don't
let's
remember
not push
either,
the button.
honestly,
let's put the onus on me. May, which film did she pan? You weren't even there then.
I wasn't there then. But I gotta
Always...
say, there are some that were my favorites too. Like
But how you didn't hear? You wouldn't have heard this one. You weren't there at that point.
I was not Shakti, but I have my favorites too.
Okay.
I was here at some point.
Right.
So Kunal Vijayakar knew. I love your story.
We didn't do a show with him.
Yeah,
of course you did.
With him over here.
Of course you did.
Well, it was one of the first shows we did after we started.
Awesome.
I think
and you talked about my favorite was his story about how he was with this girl and he was cooking something in the kitchen.
That was a true story.
Yeah.
How
it was
they were making and this is Kunal
getting hot and heavy.
Like the Olympics once in 8 years, like two Olympics, and he just got distracted by the smell and the sound of that the microwave sound ting, and he went for the crabs over making love.
It was
Indian male prefers crabs to making love. Who did you marry, young man?
11, man.
Yeah.
And Jose and Suresh.
Oh, that was great.
That was really fun.
We shot one of those for our show, and it was great fun.
Yeah, that was good.
I like Suresh.
Speaking of the ones we shot, Kunal Rao was also really good. So was
Kunal Rao. So we had. Let's look at the comedians. We had Suresh and Jose, who firstly I like Jatin Lalit, who don't talk to each other, but these two do. I was going to say Salim Javed, they don't talk to each other. John Paul, they don't talk to each other. So let's just say Suresh and Jose, I like Suresh and Jose, they talk to each other.
So I met Suresh last weekend at, just randomly, and he was telling me they're bringing their podcast back as well. So they had to.
When they want to compete?
Well, they've been doing it for longer
let's
than we
remove
have.
all the praise. Not so good. I thought Azim was much better between you and me. Azim was better.
Oh, Azim was awesome.
Yeah, Kunal was fantastic. Kunal Rao. Kunal Rao was fantastic.
Yes,
and Kanis. We had Kanis.
Kanis. Nice. Oh my God, her stories are amazing.
Yeah, Kanis was really
great.
Good.
Who needs Suresh and Jose and the bloody podcast copyright issue? We had it first.
They actually started. They had it first.
They did. Not only that, and they've been very generous. They've always offered to come back on the show. Yeah, and of course, we've not said yes because there's standards and limitations that we have to follow. But
they've been really.
We got a good crop of comedians. We got 5-6 people.
Karan Talwar.
He's the guy who kept quoting George. What's his name?
He was quoting Bill.
Bill George. In America, they're all the same. Yeah, Bill George, Henry, and
Bill Hader.
Peter.
Bill Hader?
No, Bill. We'll spend half an hour getting the name. Just everybody stay with us.
So it's the Stephen Wright like comedy, the one who does the one-liners. All right, never mind. It doesn't matter.
George, I'm telling you, George. I say it's safe. George is safe. Every third name is George. Yeah. So he was great. Yeah. And so we had this whole list. We probably had about 7-8 comedians. Yep. We've had about 7-8 food people as well.
Yeah, we had Irfan Babani. We had Nikhil Merchant.
Yeah. And the problem with the damn food people is that we normally record the telecast. I think Amit will bear testimony to this. We do it at around 12-1 time. And it's probably the worst time is we're all starving.
Gresham, you had Gresham Fernandez.
Gresham, and so 1 hour of Gresham and discuss it because he had his own angst about cutting meat in the kitchen and being pushed around by Germans. So his became like a World War II episode out of, with due respect, no offense, please. But really, but every time they talk food, and out of 10 dishes, there'll be 2 you really like. And then, man, that was painful. Let's not have any more food people on at this time. We record like at 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, we need to do it after lunch.
Yeah, when nobody really cares about the food.
Food recordings are after lunch.
Prawn curry, is it? Tell me more.
Even Rushina is actually a food person.
Rushina!
She's the one who came with
she was great. She was great.
And
she brought us all that extra food.
Oh yeah,
because I had to go somewhere.
Do you remember the Pooja Dhingra and what she brought?
Yes.
Oh yeah, so Pooja Dhingra's episode is coming soon. It's coming out soon.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes,
but Pooja has come.
But Pooja, if you're listening, we love you and please send us more cheesecake.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's the one thing my body needs.
Cheesecake and the carrot cake. Seriously,
the carrot cake was awesome.
You didn't try that? It was ridiculously good.
How could I try it, Amit? You finished the carrot cake. I
had it at social in the night, dude. I didn't have it in the day.
Says that. You're antisocial man. How dare you say that? But coming back to Rushina, so she was the one who brought us all those patties, and I was going somewhere.
Yes.
And I remember, thank God for her, because I went for a long drive somewhere. There was something else happening that day. And it was 1.5 hours in the car, and those patties came in handy. So yes, Rushina, we love you. Now it's becoming very personal, this blog, for some reason. It's only about me and my food.
Also, I really liked Samir Malhotra and you
Daddy. Yeah.
No, because there was a lot of reminiscing and a lot of really nice stories.
If he didn't hold my hand throughout, it would have been better. But
Maybe,
it was lovely.
He was.
But when he tickled my chin and sat on my lap and started singing lullabies, I was like
attached. I think.
Yeah, he did. But a fun guy, and also because we have so many friends in common from the old days when I was friendly.
All the Cyrus Sahukars,
the Sahukars, the Chinnapas, all these people.
I bumped into Cyrus. We might get him on the show.
What are you saying? It's not quite like Amitabh Bachchan, but yes, thank you. We'll take him.
No, because I want to know more stories. This is hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll remember. The one who remembers everything is Maria.
Really?
If you ever get Maria on the show,
we need to get her.
Saukar will make up stories, but Maria is the one with the memory. Yeah, he's a liar. Maria's scary. Do you remember people from my childhood like Maria who just remember everything?
Every single
you pulled
detail.
Mrs. Fernandez's pigtail. You have no idea, but the detail. You wore a yellow shirt. Your mother was screaming, break. You forgot the break. All the details come. It's just I hate those people. But Maria is lovely, and she looks really nice. We're exactly the same age, and she looks like my daughter. She's that. I mean, in a nice way. Did that come across wrong?
Yeah, that kind of did.
Right.
But, all right.
Anyway, Maria's for the future. Let's go back to what we've already done.
Yeah. No, so we've had a few Bollywood people too. We had Rahul Bose.
We had Rahul Bose, who was in a hurry. Yeah. He had 26 minutes to go, and we were trying to shoot him as well.
Yes.
He had to catch a flight. No, he had to go and pick up people, and there was a strike.
There was a taxi strike.
Yeah. So you had to self-drive.
Yeah.
What kind of celebrity self-drives and picks up his guests?
I know, man.
Your celebrity status is stripped off if you do that.
It's a tough life, man.
You cannot do that, Amit. It's written in the Celebrity Almanac of India. You cannot personally pick up your guest. In fact, you don't even turn up day one for your guest. Your guest is to be feted and by somebody else, and then day two you turn up, saying your mother was not well, so you missed day one. It's the way we operate. I was very disappointed. I told Rahul, don't pick up your guests. Of course, it turned out the guest turned out to be a relative. It didn't turn out to be...
No, it was a work thing.
It was a work thing? But they're kind of family where the relatives pay each other. It's scary. You be my uncle for 2 days. Yeah. $50. Foreign exchange. Sign here, please. Service tax exempt.
We also had Parveen the Boss, right? As a Bollywood
Parveen the Boss, whose film just released, I think, as we speak.
Has it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Jat movement hadn't even started, and he gave us that whole story about the Jats, remember?
Yeah. At that time.
And how he's in the middle of this whole land grabbing issues and all that.
Yes. He was actually really good. He was
and then the fight he had with the building society.
Oh, that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was damn cool. He taped them camera.
Yeah, the sting operation.
May has gone to sleep when we mentioned this episode for some reason.
No, I haven't. I'm trying to see which ones are my favorite as well.
So Praveen Dabas, wow, that was great.
That was, and Hansal Mehta, I guess, that's another Bollywood.
Hansal Mehta, yes, very much Bollywood.
That was just a few days ago, but...
I know one that I really liked. Sachin Kalbag.
He was
great. He was so good.
79 years a journalist. There's a lot coming out of that man.
I love him. No, he's just one of the nicest guys as well. And he has some great stories.
And he can write a book that everyone will read.
Absolutely.
Especially if he uses small words. Because of today's generation. But really, he has, and he's been everywhere. He's covered everything from, obviously political issues and controversies to social issues to religious issues to sports to, Queenie Dhoni's second marriage. Everything. He's just everywhere. The guy's great.
He's been fantastic.
Anand Goenka.
Where
he talked about how porn has been ahead. I think that was my favorite thing. Where he talked
he also said that I made fun of him at some show by mistake.
That was a crazy story.
I think you made
here
fun
we
of
have the scion of the Goenka family. Okay, he's going to be the alpha male of the entire Goenka clan, and we will never get a rupee in sponsorship because my stupid ass, when he said something silly to him and not even thinking twice about some star, he was
Urmila Matondkar. Yeah, that's
right. So he's with this hot star, and I go and say something sexually repulsive to him about him, and he's like 18 years old or something. He's never forgiven me.
He was like 12
man, at the time.
Then please say this is not true. Just please say this. I can't afford Hari Salve. Who am I going to get? What are you talking about?
What about Brijesh Singh? Brijesh Singh
he was good. And now he's the head of cyber thing of Maharashtra.
Yeah.
So we were his lucky charm. 3 days after he came on our show, show, boom. And what an interesting guy he turned out to be.
He's
and all kinds of interests.
Yeah, really
but he's
smart,
watching
right?
all of us. He's watching all of us.
He's a really interesting guy. I mean, like,
he sends me signals sometimes. When he's like, if I'm my 7th pornographic video, he's like, now stop.
No, it's time to stop,
after 9.
He's like,
sweet enough to
yeah.
put a clamp on at the right point also. Speaking of clamps, should we take a quick break now?
Yeah, I think
we've freewheeled enough and we need to get some structure in our show. So when we come back, there's a method to our madness which I will display. I have no idea. I'm just saying that to kill time, yeah? Alright. Okay, it's 1 year celebration. As we go into break, May will lead us into song. Can you sing Happy Birthday?
Happy birthday.
That was not good. Didn't work for me. We'll take a break. We'll come back. That just doesn't happen. You gotta have the voice.
Cyrus says, stop picking your nose. Listen to this ad.
Hi, I'm Amit Gurbaksani.
I'm Purva Mehra.
And I'm Pranuti Datta. And we're from a city website called The Daily Pow. And we have a new podcast called The Powcast. So you can listen to us on the Indus Rock SoundCloud page as well as iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn.
Yes, here Cyrus Says our anniversary special. But when 3 people are celebrating an anniversary, you must ask, what culture is this? And you are right to ask this question. May, welcome to our little world. It was just 2 of us and now it's 3 of us.
Exactly.
Will it be 2 of us?
I still remember my first ever episode I recorded with you.
Please tell us.
Pretty much, I am not even kidding. I professed my love for you.
Yes.
You know,
I told you how I had the biggest crush on you.
Oh, sorry, you finished first?
No, thanks. Firms have been gone.
Yeah.
No, so I told you how I had this huge crush on you since the 90s, and I was like, I want to have your babies, and you're like, my balls stopped working like 40 years ago. Like, these are all the things you told me during the episode.
Why do I always speak the truth? How it hurts to speak the truth. Why can't I lie? But let me tell you, I don't know if your mom is listening, your family is listening and all that. Right. But what intrigued me, and I told Amit, is that when you hug, you don't release. You're not a releaser. Because you're a very emotional person and you're very open, you know. You're not a distrustful person. No,
that's the name of my new book.
I'm the
hug
opposite.
and don't release.
Please don't change. Please don't change. Because that shows that you have belief in humanity. Because you hug very freely and happily. And it's lovely. I'm the opposite.
You.
I think somebody's trying to either steal money from me, rape me, be raped by me. You know, so for me, it's always all kinds of wrong thoughts. So
I'm a huge hugger.
I'm trying to figure what's her deal. What's the point
This is
here?
the thing. I love hugging, but I don't like holding hands.
Really, even your own hand?
Yeah, sometimes.
Why would you hold your own hand?
I hold my own hand all the time. If I'm feeling
Why
lonely,
would you do that?
I just let one hand hold the other and I hold it tight. And I whisper sweet nothings.
To your hands?
To my whichever ear is closer. You know that each ear is different. We're not symmetrical like that. So my right ear is closer. Actually, you know, if you do this and this is for our listeners as well, especially those who don't have jobs, which I presume is everyone.
Well, listening to us,
I'm thinking that should be the right profile.
Else to do.
So, if you look straight into a mirror and find your straight 90-degree point, and then look down at your nostrils, you'll notice that one nostril is closer to your eye than the other. So, yes. It means your eye is closer and your nostril is closer, or both, or one.
Yesterday, so I needed to get a new pair of glasses. So I looked at the Lenskart site to figure out, what size of frame I need. And apparently that's true. So what they make you do is you're supposed to put a 10 rupee note up against your nose and see how far it goes on either eye. And based on that, you're supposed to decide the size. Yeah. And I did that, and there was a significant difference between how far it was on this side and how far it was on this side with the 10 rupee note.
I did not know this. It's so
and
you
never
really measured that before.
I mean, you can sue your optician for cruelty because they make you use a 10 rupee note and then they charge you 4,000 rupees. So, that's just fantastic.
You're joking,
by the way,
right?
I think one of them is calling right now.
Both of you. Terrible etiquette from both of you.
Let's quickly put this off.
This was live radio. I would have shot you both by now.
Sorry. This was not a phone call. Let me just tell you, this was a test. I was testing both my participants here to see their reaction time in case when we're live this happens. And may I say, you guys are great.
Disgusting.
You guys are great. You guys are great.
We need to put a box outside, or what we should actually do is we should build a Faraday cage around here so that there's no signal inside.
And now, of course,
I love the fact that he's brought in Faraday cage. I don't think it's ever happened on any of our podcasts ever.
I like the fact that he's setting himself up for greatness because he knows I'm going to ask him, what's a Faraday cage? Go on, Papa. Do tell. Faraday cage, kya hai?
It's just a metal box which doesn't let...
Something with Michael Faraday.
It's not Michael Faraday. I think it's Angelo Faraday.
So it's not the great Michael Faraday they invented from 200 years ago. It's Angelo Faraday, just a guy with the same name.
No, Michael Faraday. Was it Michael Faraday 200 years? No, it is the inventor from 200 years. Was it Michael Faraday?
Michael. He ain't no Angelo.
All right, I don't know.
Angelo's that famous song, Long Ago, High in the Mountains of Mexico. That's Angelo. We can play that for you later. All right, let's get back to our roster of guests. So, who are
yes.
We had all of the other
Ooh.
IBM podcast guests, podcast hosts, right?
Adventures of Cheap Beer.
Cheap
We're
Beer
super
guys.
fun.
I
Siddhant
love.
Karan
See, that is
and
my favorite
Suraj.
concept on your entire brand, which is the guys who go and hit those cheap bars and
I
record
went
their
with them last
conversations.
Sunday. It was kind of nuts.
Aren't they
Yeah.
fun,
It
though?
is fun.
It's
They're
just,
so
it's
fun.
just a great concept. I think
Cyrus, you should get on it.
The only thing is that they're very young. They're very young. And
No,
it was
you should be
actually
on their
interesting.
show. You need
as
to
they
do a
get drunk,
dive
they
bar.
call me uncle and all. I can't take that.
No, so I went with them last Sunday. It was kind of
Did they call you
interesting.
uncle?
They call you uncle?
They didn't call me uncle, but they did get me drunk.
Yeah.
Whoa! I'm not seeing Amit.
But what does cost the company for that kind of drinking?
You know what? I left before the bill came.
Okay, just tell us.
Oh my God!
Where
No,
were
but it
you?
wasn't
Where
that,
were you?
That's the
it
first
wasn't that. So I
time.
mean, like, it was like $250 for a beer. Big Bar La Kingfisher was like $250. A bottle
Which
of-
bar was that?
This was AB's bar at Dadar.
Bar? Oh, that
So it used to be Anand Bhavan, and
Right.
now this become AB's bar.
Because De Villiers has bought it, the
Because
South African
it's
cricketer.
cool and shit now. So
I actually got that one.
Sorry.
So it's been turned from like a quarter bar into like this nice looking.
What kind of
windows.
customer clientele?
It was all quarter bar customers.
Okay,
in
so
like a
not to be
very-
class conscious, but their earning capacity would be what?
20,000 a month, 15, like middle class, like lower
Like
middle
us.
class, lower middle class,
Like us.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Cheers.
lower middle class. These are guys
drink
who are
on me,
looking-
mate.
These are guys who are these were like normal people, right? I mean, people
And
who-
no women, right?
So the bar we went to actually had a family room. So inside the family room there were
Family
women.
room. That's
There's
right.
one man who has his family. Idiot goes and brings his family to this bar.
Yeah,
and
but then
what
they
what he's doing
don't.
there.
When they bring the family, because we would done. I did a Harish lunch home with
Right.
them at Irla, and they brought everyone. It's like wife, mother, auntie, nanny.
So
everyone.
some are different. This is not. This is
That's
not
different because then you make the bar into your personal
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
That screws up everybody.
Yeah,
Like
Harish
Sunday
is
outing,
also-
we must go.
Harish is also kind of known, also, right, as a
Yeah,
family
sure.
restaurant.
See,
quarter
then
bar.
Harish is more like Grand Center, so then you
Yeah,
can have
it
everyone.
is Grand Center.
Okay,
It's very
we're talking
Grand
about the hardcore.
Yeah.
You just won't feel safe
So
taking any female member of
Let
the
me put
family
it
there.
this way, right? So the first bar that we were supposed to go to was originally a place called Midland on that Mahim Road.
Yeah.
So we went in, and the quarter bar that they had over there was so shady. It looked like a film set, like that Daru Ka Adda film set from the 1980s, which Amitabh Bachchan's in.
my God.
It looked like that. It was all wooden benches. There were like these orange and yellow and green bottles like up on the thing.
And when you're in a bar with orange, yellow, and green bottles,
basically, you
then
guys
maybe
didn't
this
go
is
there
not the bar
because
for
it was
you.
too shady.
No, because it was too crowded. There was no place to. There was no place to sit over there, and it was not. And it was like so the air conditioner part was empty. There was a lot of place to sit in, but the quarter bar part, but there wasn't. They didn't serve like quarter bars. They didn't serve quarters at the AC section. They only serve quarters in the non-AC section. So their whole thing is that it needs to be a quarter bar. So
Yeah, they're very
So the
specific.
non-AC
For
section.
guys who are getting free beer in cheap places, they got too many rules, man. They're totally
the only
scared.
No,
rule-
the whole point is to do
To go to a quarter
review
bar.
quarter bars.
Yeah.
That's one of the most unique things about like the bars here in Bombay. I think.
Yeah, the quarter
you don't
bars is
get
not a
quarter
usual-
bars in
yeah.
like Chennai. You don't get quarter bars. in
No, it's a
Bangalore.
concept that I mean, like outside of India, though I've never heard of. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, like,
so that's what makes it unique.
Outside of India, when you go to a bar, unless you go to a gay bar, there are women in the bar.
Yes.
I've always noticed that's a lovely concept. I didn't know women were in bars until I went outside India. It was everywhere there were just men in bars.
Dude, you haven't been going to bars all that
No,
much.
those are
recently.
expensive bars. Those bars I can only cater in if I wear a uniform.
Hey, people go like
people
I.
tip me.
Yeah,
I
dude,
took them to one of like there's a relatively
Mate,
shady bar.
People pay for you. You're a wonderful personality. I wouldn't even be let in. You got to have like a female companion to enter the fancy bars. It's not a world altogether. That's just rude.
You can.
No, you can't. Every time we used to go to places like the ghetto when we were young, they throw us out. Ask Amit.
I
We grew
just
up
went to
tough.
ghetto the other day.
Now it's different. We're so old, they think an NGO has come.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
now they see older people and they think, okay, these guys.
Now
are
we don't look like leches in their minds. But before, before we did. So they wouldn't understand. Ask Amit.
Yeah, no,
For
it
South
was
Bombay
always a
boy
problem.
growing up, it was not easy to get into these bars in the 90s. It was tough without the right. And we would take one girl and four guys. The Mahabharata thing stayed with us, right? So the same girl would go in with one guy, come back out, take the next guy, come back out.
Wow.
And then suddenly you're wising up to, excuse me, how many boys are dating this one girl? And of course that girl is somebody's sister who was dating her. You know what we South Bombay boys went through getting into
That's
bars. They would be really,
ridiculous.
and we became serial offenders. They recognize our faces. The same guys. I always have the same four guys with me. Each one of us looks like a loser's loser. Not a loser, but the loser's friend who really is a loser. Okay, so there's four of us in that position. It's just not fun.
Wow.
Yeah, so life has been very hard to people like us.
Well, another one was the Tejas Menon and Jishnu Guha from
That was-
Geek Fruit,
yeah, that was
the
good.
They were
geeky
very
comic
nice.
book guys.
And then we had so much in common. It
Yeah,
turned out.
it was
Yeah.
amazing.
I was asking Amit, what are we going to talk about? And because
I
it's
think it
like
was a
geeks.
revelation for us that you were just
That
so
I love
into
comics.
comics.
And I went
to
back to my
such a
childhood
degree.
and picked up memories, came back, and I almost hugged them. They said, "Don't touch me" at the end of the show because there was so much love.
But I think that
So it just teaches you something. Sorry to cut you, but it teaches you immediately that you don't know who you are sometimes.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Until you see that side of your personality as well.
It was so surprising. I mean, like, as we were listening to the show and you talking
were like-
about Phantom.
I remember
and
Amit
you're
asking
talking
me, first time Amit, you asked me, are you gay? And I said, I'm not sure. I remember. That's how it ended.
oh my god, Anis Aidenwala,
He was-
the
he was,
diver.
yeah, he's
Scuba.
cool.
What kind of grown man in his 40s spends his whole day underwater like that?
Man,
Yeah, I
it's
bumped
a
into him
life.
recently, but he is incredible.
But imagine when you're growing up in middle class India and you're, your business family, your engineer, lawyer, whatever the usual crap, and then if you land up doing something like this for a living,
Yeah.
you're underwater, you're with marine life, you're meeting different foreign tourists all the time, you're sort of
Yeah,
never
it's
bored.
kind
It's
of
not the
crazy,
same old,
right?
same old.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of crazy. I mean, this guy was in my school, right? He was 3
Yeah,
years
yeah,
older than me.
yeah.
I mean,
Really? Oh my god! I
Anis
didn't know
was a
that.
male model. And
Yeah, he
in the
was.
90s,
I knew that,
if you're a
yeah.
male model, everybody would smirk and say, uska to ho gaya. Because, that's like 2-year career. Sometimes one. Okay, maybe 2. But the point is that, we didn't expect much and he's done so well.
yeah, he's done really well with
Yeah.
the whole with this whole
And
company.
look at his cost to company. All he needs is one pink Speedo costume. One small itsy bitsy wristband which you wear around your skinny thighs
Oh
and you
my
dive in.
God.
Because there's fish, marine life aren't judgmental. They don't care what you look like or how big your thing is. Who cares? I mean, sometimes they do because they mistake it for a seahorse and then, the ones who eat seahorses. But by and large, marine life aren't secular people. We should learn from marine life. Not marine drive. Marine life.
Marine life.
Of course.
Yeah. Marine drive is what happens when there's no marine life.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
What about
We also-
Nishant Padiyar, the guy
Nishant
from
Padiyar?
Stuff
Yeah, that was
Magazine?
cool.
The
Yes.
tech
That was
guy?
Yes. Went over my head within 5 minutes, but it was fun. Yes. And a whole new world opening about digital magazines and how they're going to take
kind of
over.
interesting. Actually, Anant was really interesting in that context.
The same,
right?
the same.
We
yeah.
were
The
talking
same.
about the discussion about.
He was very
yeah.
clear. Anand was very clear. I think he's going to make a great. I want to try and win back some points. He's going to make a great leader of the Goenka family. And maybe one day he'll put some money into our podcast and grace us with
One would hope.
his
One would
occasion.
hope.
But
So the Daily Pound guys, that was actually a pretty good episode as well. The
Daily
Amit
Pau,
Gurbaksani,
yes,
Pranati,
yes.
Datta,
But they're
and
different.
Purva Mehra.
The girl who was the film critic was the funniest. She
Yeah,
was
she
like
is.
Prawn had you though. Prawn was
She was
like,
she was just fun. She was a
Yeah.
fun girl because I just love opinionated people, especially.
Nepensi Road.
No, that doesn't hurt. Nepensi Road.
And who else we had? Well, we had Anirudh came right from
Anirudh,
our
yeah.
show from our show
Aniguha?
roster. Yeah,
the film critic
film
and stuff.
critic?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Anirudh.
The guy was fighting with me.
Yes, the guy was
Yeah.
fighting with
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was he going on about? I forgot.
No,
now.
but you know what? He knew a movie that you were in, which was like
Jalwa.
really freaky,
The-
and I think none of us knew about. And
Jalwa? You didn't know about Jalwa?
No, no one knew about Jalwa.
I didn't
My
connect
3
it even-
scenes to glory. What are you
didn't-
saying? I got to hug Archana Pur and sing 3 times. I told you it was wonderful.
I've seen the movie
Not
many,
for
many
her.
times. It was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, but I never connected that. I had absolutely no idea until he brought it up.
Well, what do you think? Nasiruddin Shah was me, Pankaj Kapoor. There's like 3
No,
options.
but yeah, you're right. There are not that many male characters. I figured you were somebody's younger brother. I just had no idea who's.
I mean, it's a Hindi film. How many roles are there? Younger brother, dead body, Godawala. He was like 5 roles. So the film's done. Yeah. So yeah, but he did his research, but he came. He looked like he had his periods. He's a sweet guy, apparently.
Oh.
Is he still doing the show for you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
is.
is.
All right.
We're doing watch.
So who
Out.
else is on the? Let's talk about all the other people on the show.
Oh yeah, so there's that Sanva Oberoi and Yash Kotak from Boheco, the hemp
The
company.
hemp company. Yeah,
I love those guys.
Those guys
They
are
were
What an
like
idea!
full on.
What a superb idea!
Those
And
guys
I think you
Yeah.
guys like went into a whole Parsi dialogue at one point.
not only that, it's just again because we empathize with them, where they come from, their roots, etc., and just the idea of these are real entrepreneurs for me. You know,
Yeah.
hitting the right note at the right time.
Actually, the guy who came in the same day, Samyak.
Samyak
Yeah, correct.
He was also a really
Yeah.
interesting guy.
Yeah.
from Social Quotient.
From
and
Social
doing,
Quotient.
like,
Again, doing the same thing somewhat.
Yeah.
What was the Sid Talwar and those other 2 guys?
Sid Talwar, Sandeep, and Jeremy. So those are the venture capitalists, right?
Who are going to put 500 million into our show?
one would hope.
What's the status on that, Amit?
One would hope. One would hope.
Let's say we come down to 499. Do we have a yes? 498. Do I hear yes? No? 497? Damn it. We'll wait.
Hopefully soon.
We'll wait. Then?
Then
we've had
singer Gary Lawyer.
Gary Lawyer, yeah.
He's the only singer to come on the show and not sing. I mean, that's so beautiful.
That's right.
Because we don't generally really want this.
Oh, wait a minute. You had some law students in Neil Modi, Rafael
that's right.
They were great.
They were really fun.
And they served, they were telling us court stories and all that. They were fun.
Great.
Yeah, they were really cool.
But law students,
Yeah.
It was really
what I could have been if I didn't get into this stupid crap stuff. I would have been a lawyer. I would have been one of those three boys.
We've had a couple of the NGOs too, right? We had the
teaching sex.
And we had Nilima from Aisha. Then we had Tarunesh
who gave up a corporate job in Middle America and then came down here and to deal with delinquents. I mean, frankly, I don't know why you do that.
Scary,
Also, and with a smile on her face and saying she's had a wonderful time, the best experience of her life.
Also,
is she in the same India I'm in? Because I just don't understand.
Also, I gotta say, the only person I've ever realized, I didn't know you could hula hoop. Swati Shah.
That was lovely.
Got you to hula hoop, which was amazing.
She came, she brought a hula hoop, and then we all, how competitive is me? They all went and tried their hand at it, and they all,
Our producer Malvika was amazing.
Malvika was, there was a competitive.
Forget that, Nilpa gave the same day, and she was like, la la la, I did this when I was a kid, and no one ever did this.
Right? The American girl, the American girl, the Aisha thing, and she was the best, she was fantastic.
She was really good at that,
Wow.
I was in shock. I couldn't believe she did so well.
I know. I couldn't get into the hula hoop. And then I couldn't get out. It took hours. It was fun.
Fun for the whole family, right? I mean, you were going to...
I did 2 rounds. It went around my hips twice and then fell on my knee. And that kind of thing. What was that lovely sound?
That was my fault.
Play? Okay.
I hit play like an idiot.
You hit play.
We're looking at the list of our shows, right?
Yeah, we're looking through the feed of the show. What about Dharmesh Gandhi?
No, Dharmesh was great.
Dharmesh was super
Who said, call me, we'll do something on Star, and then he took my call. He was lovely. Amazing man. Really, really sweet. Yeah.
I met him a couple of nights ago, actually. He also told me the same thing, let's do something.
I think that's just now.
That's just
the course.
That's just everyone.
Hey, let's talk,
there's always been one great Gandhi. Let's go. We won't get another.
What about the World for All, where the 3 people came and talked about the dogs?
Tarunesh and...
Of course!
Yeah, they were
Tarunesh. Who can forget Tarunesh, yeah.
But can I tell you, his name is spelled Taronish.
It's the weirdest spelling I've ever heard of Tarunesh.
Tarunesh, not
Tarunesh
really the
is a
whole
strange
thing.
I think he's changed the spelling of late. There must be a reason for that.
ISH.
I think, his real name is Bunty. This is nonsense. I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. What the hell is what a sweet guy. Honestly. He's what I want to be. Yeah. Out of these people, there are 2-3 guys who I really want to be.
Yeah. So we had him, then we had that girl from Teach for All too, right?
Yes.
What is her name?
Also really good. I don't know because the episode's not released yet.
I'm going to say her name really fast so that I know. Done. That's done.
Okay.
Wow, nice. Very good. Also, if now
let's speak a little bit about the backroom staff also for 5 minutes if we can. Because we don't give them enough credit. They do so much work. I mean, what's his name? That red shirt. What's his name? That guy. The Kashmiri boy.
The Flash thing.
The one who's married. Vagman is it? Vag. Yeah, Shazam. He's great, yeah. He's always late. He has no idea who the guest is. And he always gets me font size which I can't read. Malvika though has disappeared. She became a singer.
No, she went for some. She'll be back. She's
gone to re-record her 5th song in Mahabalipuram and played on the beach. How can we forget the main man in this entire place?
I know he's been.
Who's been there from day one? He's like the Buddha. He shows no emotions. Alright, he's just in control. So you think you have the funniest joke. You look at Kiran, nothing. Yeah. You get nothing. You just the guy's being rude to you or whatever. You look at Kiran like, what's up? Nothing. He's immune. He's like, he's got vaccination from all your conversation, so he feels nothing. It's lovely to have a man. I wish my wife was like him. He just feels nothing.
And such commitment. He comes from Dana.
And he combs his hair for half an hour every day. People can't see him.
That kind
his
of
hair is still his waist.
What else is he supposed to do, man?
His hair is still his waist. I would say it would be easier for you to grow your hair from your groin to your waist. Shorter and faster.
He's like what women are jealous of, the volume.
His name is a woman's name. His name is Kiran, by the way. There's all kinds of confusion there, but he's got a scraggly beard. And it is true. He goes from Danu every day. Johann Sebastian Bach, one of the great composers, used to walk 22 kilometers a day to learn how to play instruments. And by instruments, I mean everything, because he was a teenager. But Kiran comes 2 hours every day and 2 hours back every day. Only to listen to me. Which means he is mentally not capable of being an adult in India. We need to take action against him. Someone has to. And there's also one more gentleman who we call Junior Kiran now. JK. Hey, JK! And JK's real name is Prateek. He's a South Bombay resident also, and he wears the same shirt. And I mean, these guys are important, otherwise we don't have a show.
We also should mention Tejas, who cuts our show. He edits the show.
Tejas, who edits our show. But thank God he doesn't show his face here, so we don't have to
you haven't seen him all that much.
Twice only.
And there is Kuwar, who basically is...
tech guy?
He's our tech guy. He's in charge of all of our
And Shivpal, who's the watchman who opens the door. I mean, I don't want to let him go. He's a sweet guy. Why?
And also, actually, Shraddha was handling our social media. She's
below Shivpal in the hierarchy. Shivpal, the watchman, he opens the door, and then there's Shraddha as an afterthought. No, I like where you're going with that, because you always do a thing for women's empowerment, don't you, Amit? Yeah, and we're recording this 1 week after Women's Day and to celebrate our anniversary, which was on Women's Day.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes,
it was.
Yes,
all right, so let's look at the path ahead. Amit Doshi, entrepreneur.
Oh, what is the path ahead? Well, so more shows, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. You guys should hear.
Can I give them the list of guests that are expected in 2016-17? Because I've got a list.
Yes,
we are getting Leonardo DiCaprio, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
we are getting Amitabh Bachchan. We are getting Narendra Modi with Rahul Gandhi and Arnab Goswami all at the same time.
Yes, it's going to be the best show ever.
I'm going to get Kapil Dev in English. I'm going to get Srikanth in Hindi. I'm going to get the best of the best. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be show time for anybody from any part of India. Now, having said that, the pressure's on you, Amit. Right. Find these guys, get their dates, figure out conveyance, and for God's sake, DiCaprio, it's the famous car which is facing north. Right? Just don't go to the opposite building. I'm sick of the guests going to the wrong building. They've got a much better body of work than us, because all the guests first go there. We get tired guests by the time we come here.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So next week, Smriti Irani is confirmed. If she doesn't turn up, we have my friend Dinsha Irani will just fill in, and we'll just get to it.
I think we should do that. We should try and get some Irani or the other.
We'll always have a connection. The thing about low budget shows is as long as you have a connection, you've got something going for you.
Absolutely.
All right. May, any last words on the subject?
Just to give people an idea of some of the guests that are actually coming.
Please do.
We've got Viraf Patel, who's going to be coming out. His show's going to come out soon.
Right.
We've got Elton Fernandez, the makeup artist, who's also, his episode will be coming out soon. Supramlani, her episode's also going to come out soon.
Yes, and she won an award, by the way.
Yeah.
The President's Award. The highest, the Nari Shakti Award, which is the highest honor for a lady entrepreneur personality for her triathlete performances. And Nari Shakti literally means woman of energy.
Woman strength.
And she jumped on us and screamed and shouted so much that is one thing she has.
There was a lot of screaming. That's true. Pooja Dhingra as well, and Rahul Mehra, who's a brewer.
There you go.
So they're all coming up.
Beer and sweetmeats. You can't go We're on a healthy diet right here.
Yes, you can.
And we are looking forward
Beer and sweetmeats.
And we can quickly just ask anybody who's interested, if you think you have an interesting life, and or you know people have interesting lives and you know how we can get in touch with them, please tell us.
Yeah, send us an email.
Yeah.
You know what kind of guests we have.
What Cyrus Says at gmail.com. Send us an email if you have a suggestion for a guest.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at synchronized swimmers.
Please stop sending
things
me
like that.
Nikhil Chinnappa as a suggestion. I've heard that and we're trying to work on it.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I keep getting that. I mean, like, it's just crazy. Once a week, Nikhil Chinnappa.
He does, like here.
I'm told Nikhil Chinnappa is only guy listening to the show. I wonder how that came about.
That might be why we get so many requests for Nikhil Chinnappa all the time.
But I want some swimsuit models. We got to get some other stuff here. Yeah. Synchronized swimmers, I was thinking acrobats. There's so many other professions that we haven't looked at.
We should look at circus people. Yeah, we need circus performers.
What about someone who works in the museum? What's that little job like? You know, so if you know anybody who, interesting, I just mean someone whose world is very different from yours. Yeah. It's always interesting. Let's find out. Either their life sucks so much you feel better, or they're an inspiration. Either way, we win. Right?
That's true.
Good. That's what we're here for. Yeah. It's called Cyrus Says. 1 year up, 24 more to go. We'll see you soon. Until then, we leave you with the Cyrus Says signal, which is 4 of us put our fingers up our noses and smile. Amit, it's the nose is the thing in front, not what you're sitting on.
Not the
That's
other thing.
Not the nose.
All right.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
All views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the views and opinions of the IndusVox Media Network or any of our show advertisers or sponsors. No animals were harmed in the making of this podcast, obviously.
All right, now you're tired of listening to my voice, so let's go to something which is much lighter in terms of just voice tonality. Otherwise, they're not lighter, they're heavier. It's Adventures of Cheap Beer with 3 drunk guys. Yes, we call them drunk because they're always drunk. Siddhant Mehta, Suyash Barve, and whose name sounds a little... and Karan Agarwal. They review dive bars in Mumbai, which means the lowest of the low. If you're so poor, if you're completely decrepit, if you have no money, even you can afford better places than what they go to. Check it out on IBMPodcast.com.